Hey there! If you enjoy the stories on my channel, I'd truly appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. Your support inspires me to keep creating. Now, let's dive into today's story. The moment I stepped out of the cab and saw all my belongings strewn across the front yard like an unwanted garage sale, my heart didn't just sink, it shattered. There I stood, still clutching my suitcase from the girls' trip, staring in disbelief at the chaos. My bras were tangled around a floor lamp, my expensive skincare was baking under the scorching sun, and the framed photo of Jackson and me, the one we took on our 3rd anniversary, lay cracked down the middle. No note, no warning, no explanation. Just my life, discarded on the grass like garbage. Just 48 hours earlier, I had been on a balcony in Miami, sipping margaritas with my best friends, laughing until my stomach ached. I remember thinking, God, I needed this. The trip had been Lexi's idea. She'd gone through a bad breakup and said, "We all need a reset." I almost didn't go. Jackson had been acting off, moody, distant, cold. But when I brought it up, he insisted. "You never do anything for yourself," he told me. "Go have fun. I'll be right here when you get back." But he wasn't. I called him the moment I saw my toothbrush sticking out of a shoe and my underwear waving in the wind like surrender flags. Straight to voicemail. I tried again, nothing. The 3rd time, I screamed into the phone. "What the hell is going on, Jackson?" Still no answer. In a panic, half laughing from disbelief and half crying from heartbreak, I called Lexi. She offered to rush over, but I told her no. I needed to understand what was happening on my own. I gathered everything I could, stuffing my life back into bags while neighbors peeked through their blinds. I could feel their judgment, their whispers. What did she do? Did he catch her cheating? Maybe she's crazy? But I wasn't the crazy one. I drove straight to his office, our office. I had helped him build his real estate firm from nothing. I walked in like I still owned the place because in some ways I did. But when I got to the front desk, the receptionist looked visibly uncomfortable. "Jackson isn't in," she blurted too quickly. "Then I'll wait," I said calmly. She hesitated. "Actually, he asked that you not come by here anymore." I laughed. "I'm sorry, what?" She glanced around nervously, then leaned in and slid a white envelope across the desk. "He said if you showed up, I should give you this." My name was printed in bold block letters. I tore it open. Inside was a check for $3,000 and a typed note that read, "I think this is more than fair. Please don't make this harder than it has to be." No signature. No context. Just that. My hands trembled so badly that the envelope slipped through my fingers. I staggered to the parking lot, collapsed into my car, and screamed into the steering wheel until my throat burned. Jackson and I had been together for 5 years. We lived together for 3. We built a life, a business, a future, or so I thought. The days that followed were a blur of silence and blocked calls. He ghosted me completely, on the phone, on social media, even LinkedIn. His friends ignored me, and his family acted like I'd never existed. I became invisible. And then, I remembered something. His iPad. The one I gave him for his birthday last year. He never used it, but he'd synced it with his Apple ID. Sometimes his messages would appear there. I'd packed it for our last open house and forgotten to return it. It was still in the trunk of my car. My hands trembled as I powered it on. After a few minutes, it synced. And there it was, everything. Messages. Call logs. Photos. The first thread that caught my eye was saved under Mike G. Gym. Which was weird. Jackson hated the gym. I opened it. It wasn't Mike. It was her. They had been talking for months. Flirty texts, private jokes, even explicit photos. One stood out. It was sent the night before I left for Miami. She'd written, "Can't wait to have you all to myself next week." He replied, "I'll be free when she's gone." When she's gone. I felt physically ill. Not just from the cheating but from the planning. The precision. He waited until I was out of town to erase me. And her? Her name was Kira. She worked at a rival firm. I barely remembered her, tan, fake smile, teeth too white, and always called Jackson by his full name. I thought she was just some pushy agent. But no, she was replacing me. Their messages were brutal. Does she still wear those ugly pajamas? You sure she doesn't suspect anything? This is going to be epic. Epic. I screen recorded everything. Every message, every photo, every mocking joke. I didn't want revenge. Not yet. I needed proof. I needed to know I wasn't insane. And then came the videos. One was time-stamped 2 days into my Miami trip. They were in our bed. She laughed and said, "It still smells like her." I slammed the iPad shut and ran to the bathroom to throw up. I wish I could say I walked away then and there, that I started a new life and never looked back. But heartbreak isn't that simple. I stayed in bed for a week, ate dry cereal from the box, barely showered. I kept replaying everything, his kiss goodbye, his lies, his "I miss you" texts while I was gone. The man who said he loved me days before had dumped me like a pile of trash. But then something shifted. I remembered who I was before Jackson. I wasn't weak. I wasn't disposable. I was smart, loyal, strong enough to walk through fire and come out holding the ashes of everything I'd survived. So I got up. I lawyered up. We weren't married, but we were registered as domestic partners. And that meant I had a legal claim to the business. He tried to quietly push me out, but I fought back. It got ugly. He begged me not to go public. I didn't. I didn't have to ruin him. He ruined himself. As for Kira, she didn't last long. Turns out she was sleeping with another guy at the office too. Jackson found out when he walked in on them during an open house. Poetic. Last I heard, Jackson moved to a different city. Alone. As for me, I moved into a new place. Got my own clients. Rebuilt everything from the ground up. Lexi helped me redecorate. One night, we took that cracked photo of Jackson and me out to the fire pit and burned it. Our own little goodbye ritual. I still have that iPad. I still have every message. Not because I want revenge, but because it reminds me that I wasn't crazy. I was betrayed. And I survived.